Hi guys, welcome back to MACS Chats. This week we're going to be talking about wearable media technology and loneliness. So the social factors as consequences or impacting our adoption of technology like Fitbits and Apple Watches, even VR headsets, things like that. So joining me this week is Marley.
Hi.
Godwin.
Hello.
And Alyssa.
Hi, everybody.
All right, so we're going to start off pretty easy. What kind of wearable tech do we use? Does anyone here have an Apple Watch, anything like that?
I have an Apple Watch. I forgot to charge it last night, so I'm not wearing it. Yeah.
You didn't just want to like paint a target on your back here.
I'm analog all the way.
All right. I guess it's pretty easy to start with Alyssa then. So like, why did you want to buy an Apple Watch?
I got it for like a present. I think it was either my Christmas present or like my birthday present. I got it for my parents. I wanted it because I don't know. I think it was like the trend, and also like it looked really cool.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So did you want one yourself? Was it like a gift that you kind of hinted at, like when I want one of these, or did you feel like, oh, I've just got this, let's see how I like it?
Yeah, I honestly, when I got it, I wanted it because like I think it just looked cool. Like I think it was able to track my heartbeat, and like I do like a few exercises, and I was like, oh, maybe I can also use that. It's kind of nice. Yeah, I use it every day, and it tells you the time. I like it.
Like a watch?
Yeah, it tells you the time.
This does the same thing.
That doesn't have numbers.
You're just dumb.
I'm not dumb.
Alyssa, did you want to like tilt the mic
This way?
down? Yeah, cool. Because it's fine. It just needs to be. I pointed it up. All right. So let's talk about everyone else. Is there a reason why you guys have refrained from adopting like an Apple Watch or any kind of smartwatch?
I'm poor.
Oh.
Is that a social factor? I think it is. What about you, Godwin?
Same here. I'm really poor too.
Is it something you guys would want though? And there's
No.
All right. So what doesn't seem appealing to you?
Like, because I know you get like notifications on it too, and it's like, I don't want to get notifications on my phone anyway. Like, I don't like seeing notifications on my phone anyway, so why would I want it on a watch?
I mean, that's pretty good. Like, why don't you like notifications?
Yeah, Marley.
It's
Why
like
don't you?
responsibilities, like just the energy of talking to people sometimes.
What if I have tea?
I like talking
What
in
if I
person.
have tea?
I don't like talking over the phone.
What if I have tea and you live somewhere else?
Then you, well, that's not my problem.
Oh.
Don't you have other friends where you live?
Fine. When I have tea, I won't go to you.
Okay.
If I have an emergency, you won't be the one I'll call.
You're my emergency contact.
Yeah, and I'll put on you on D&D.
I mean, this is like the most heated match chat has ever gone, and it is over.
Sorry, it's just because she's mad because I didn't answer her one call.
No, I called her 3 times within, and then I also texted her. She
Why
didn't
would you
pick up.
call me 3 times? I don't
I
like
had
calls.
tea.
I don't answer my mum.
You're a horrible person. Seriously horrible.
Are you one of those people that like expect everyone to always be like available? You're like, you guys have a phone. Come on, text me back.
Yes, text me back. I'm on my phone, like, because like I have like commitments, and everyone has to like give me stuff to be able to, you know, plan everything out. So I'm like, I'm on my phone. I'm sure like I'll reply them back. Because who would not want, you know, if you have a role, like who would not want to get text back? You have something, how do I explain it? Like, it's a commitment, and you know, it's just a basic decency to reply back.
I still get things done.
Basic decency.
So do you think the way you're phrasing this is like, if you're friends with me, it's a commitment. I expect the hours to be put in.
Oh, no, okay, that's what I'm saying. It's more like if you have a group project, you want them to reply back. Like that type of situation.
But we're not in a group project.
We are friends, and I when I have tea.
So you think
me.
of our friendship as a project? I'm just a project to you?
Maybe. there, it's okay.
I do not want this recording to be like evidence in this inevitable like police file. But all right, moving maybe hopefully.
Yeah, let's move on.
A little camera vibe. Godwin, how do you feel about like all those notifications? Do you feel the same way? Is that something stopping you getting an Apple Watch?
Not to the level that Marilee does with D&D, but
Oh, thank you. See, it's not normal.
no, it's not. But
It's only been 2 weeks.
It's not normal.
yeah, I'd like to have it utility-wise, but at this, like, I do want to replace my phone with it someday because, like, I realize how stuck I am with my phone that, like, I kind of have the option of using an Apple Watch someday.
So you're actually like, a phone is too much like faff, or at the very least it's like inconvenient. You just prefer to have it like always there.
Yeah, kind of. I want to dumb it down pretty much.
Oh, so you're like your phone's too complicated. You want
Yeah.
something that like just bare minimum.
Yeah.
Okay, that's super interesting. All right. With your Apple Watch, are you happy with it? Like, are you like, this was the best thing I've purchased, or do you feel like it maybe wasn't all it was cracked up to be?
I wear it every day. Like when I'm at work, you're not allowed to use your phone. But like when you have messages coming in, you're like, okay, what did someone say? And you're like, oh, okay, they said this. But obviously you'll text them later, but you'll think of your response later. Or something like that. I enjoy it. I think it's a good purchase.
All right, so I think building on that, I want to be everyone to reply immediately. You like that you're never like disconnected. Does anybody else feel like too stressed out with that constant connection? You feel
me.
like, yeah.
That's why I have D&D on. Like, I just want to be on my own for a while and just like kind of disconnect. That's why I go out and touch grass every week, because I want to be removed from like the whole technology thing, and I want to be more literate this year. So I'm trying to read more like actual physical books, because I feel like there's not a lot going on up here anymore.
Wasted away by like TikToks and Instagram reels.
Exactly. Like I was looking at my screen time and I was like, oh, this is bad. So that's why the D&D has been on for 2 weeks.
So you were like, I think really similar to me, like had an intervention moment where you're like, oh, this needs to like stop. Which is one of the reasons I don't, again, we're all kind of uni student poor, but like, I'm really not interested in getting like Apple Watches or even like AirPods or anything that I can kind of constantly keep on. I'm like, I don't need those distractions in my life.
What are you wearing now? You're wearing a headphone.
Yeah, but this one is literally nailed to the desk, so I don't take it away from me.
But the thing is, I need to have something on all the time. Otherwise, the voices get to me. So, sorry, like I won't respond to people, but I'll have music playing like all the time. I'll have music. I'll have a show on. I'll just have.
Tell them what you do when you study. That's crazy.
I have music on. I have a show on, and then I have white noise music.
I don't know.
All at once, because
all through the same pair of headphones, or like.
I like to be when I study.
Crazy.
That's
I
how I
can't do that.
focus. When I get like really overstimulated, and then I'm focusing. I don't know how it works.
I mean, honestly, I used to listen to like metal music and stuff, which I feel like is a similar vibe of just like total sensory overload.
My friend has recently gotten me into rock, so that's a good alternative. So yeah.
So for you, is like your headphones like the wearable tech that you're like, I could not
always
live
on.
without?
Always on. They're over there.
Do you feel like people, not to presume much, but do you feel like if you've always got your headphones on, like you're not socially interacting as much, or is that the goal?
I don't like. So one of the reasons I don't like it, because I'm usually in Melbourne Central, right? And they're cult recruiters.
I got
Headphones
approached
on.
once.
I am invincible. I'm avoidable.
Honestly, that like makes sense. There are some times when we want to be lonely. Like,
Exactly.
I don't want this interaction
Yeah,
right
I
now.
just don't want to be approached by strangers.
I mean, I've done
Kind
that.
of.
Well, I'll just have my headphones on, like going through train stations or something,
Yeah.
or like in Melbourne Central in the city, where it's like there's no music playing. These things are dead. I have not charged them. I just do not want to get
I've
like
done
stopped.
That. I've done that as well. But like the thing, I forgot what I was going to say. I lost train of thought. But if I'm with people, like in a social setting, headphones are off. I'm talking.
Oh, so you're not like, you're still aware of other people. You're
I'm
like,
capital E extrovert.
oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
I respect that. So what about you, Godwin? Do you feel like there is anything that's like a wearable tech, maybe something a bit weirder like your headphones, that you definitely use?
I actually don't know. Yeah, same reasons as Marilee. Like, it's like a non-confrontational or impromptu / like get away from me kind of message to other people. So
Yeah, I find it really weird. My headphones have got this thing where like if you talk, they turn off the
You can
music.
turn it off.
Yeah, no, I keep meaning to, and that resets itself. But it's like the weirdest thing in the world where you're like, you can do like a cough and then just listen into what other people are talking about while like not pretending that you're listening to something else. It's the weirdest feature I think I've ever seen in something. What about you, Alyssa? Are you an extrovert, or are you like headphone listener like the rest of us?
I don't know.
Sorry, Marilyn.
I want it. I don't know. I want to get a headphone. I got AirPods, but I want to get a headphone because
She put mine on for 2 seconds and she's like, I want these.
yeah, but they're so expensive.
I literally saved up for 5 months because I wanted these particular set of headphones.
I cannot afford them. They're like $400. I do not know how you do that.
The thing is, I waited till Boxing Day.
Yeah, I want to get
I
one.
got them $100 cheaper.
Yeah, so good. It's jealous. I want to get one, because I don't know, it looks cool, and yeah, it looks cool. It's I got AirPods. I got like the first.
You're
gen.
feeding into consumerism.
No one needs to know that.
I mean, that's actually super interesting to bring up. Do we feel like you're buying some of this wearable tech because of like, not necessarily the aesthetic, but you like the branding, or that you're like, oh, these are so cool. Like there's something that's why you'd like it. Like, is the reason you got an Apple Watch over like one of the Samsung ones? Because you're like, Apple all the way. I like my branding.
I'm Apple all the way, but I think you got a Sony headphones, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, one, it's a trend nowadays to wear headphones, and also it's like easy to get into the mode of stuff. Like like when you're studying, you're all into it. Because I don't know. And another point was that when you're like sleeping, when you're wearing AirPods, it'll fall off. That's
But
why I want.
headphones are not comfortable to sleep in.
Yeah, that's also the problem.
tried.
I wouldn't know. I always thought like headphones were really uncomfortable, but then I wore yours, and I was like, damn, okay, I need to start saving. But I'm broke.
Has anybody else here like been bullied for like not having AirPods or something like that, where like the brand kind of consciousness like led to some like social isolation? Do you know what I mean? Like when I was in high school and like the first AirPods came out, it was a massive thing with people going, oh, I need them. And like getting the fake ones that basically were just like, didn't even work as headphones, were just bits of plastic.
The ones from Kmart?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those. I did not get them though because like I didn't want to, like I just didn't have AirPods in high school. I didn't want to get the fake ones because I didn't want to be bullied for them. It's like you don't have you're showing that you can't afford them, and you're just trying to fit into the trend.
And just instead you were like, I'll be a hipster. I'll say it's like an intentional thing.
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Godwin? Maybe if you haven't experienced it yourself, are you aware of that kind of like that social pressure, I guess, for why you wouldn't wear wearable tech, or why you would?
No, I mean, look, recently I've been into Sunny Angels, especially collecting it. I passed this one lady that had these really cool headphones. She looks the other side, and I see a Sunny Angel hanging off that. I was like, from that moment, I'm like, I'm getting headphones.
Wait, what type of headphones?
Your exact headphones.
Sunny?
It was like, there was a Sunny Angel. There was a hipper just like chilling.
Could you explain what like these are to
should have
people
never
like
told me
me that have
that.
no idea what this is?
You gonna copy it? No,
You should have never told me that.
Like, sorry, what are these? Because I have no idea
They're
what
like,
you're
these
talking
are
about.
naked babies, low-key.
No.
Oh, okay. Like, I think
So
I know
they're
what you're
like
talking
little
about.
collectibles. Hold on. Oh, fuck. Hold on.
They go on top of your phone.
Yeah, and you can
Yeah.
put them on top of like your phone and things like that.
Let me see.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's cool.
You can put them on top of your phone.
Yeah, no,
Oh shit! Sorry.
I've got people at work, work that I know what they are. What I was thinking, what I thought you were thinking about is there's like this whole secondary market of like Apple AirPod MACSes, whatever the big Apple ones that have like wings and like those like
seen
design pieces.
that.
Yeah. So like, there's a
I
lot
also low-key wanted those.
of. Do you have
No,
what are
I
they
don't.
called,
I have the
AirPod
Sony
MACSes?
ones, but I put like bows around mine.
Who's influenced by Miley?
Coquette. Coquette, cool.
Is that it? Are we feeling like, I don't know, the consumerism's getting to us? We like need this.
Yeah. But I was like, nah, I could probably make them. It's okay.
I mean, I respect that, honestly. What about you, Alyssa, as our marketing director on the pulse? You know, are you a trend like follower?
A trend. I have to keep up with trends, honestly. It is part of the job because, yeah, Marily's doesn't follow that.
My For You page is way different.
Nah, I literally have to like physically like the content that is part of the trend because I have to figure out what to write. Video. Yeah.
Oh, right. So you said you were like really into using your Apple Watch for like health tracking kind of stuff. That you like that it like measures your heartbeat and your steps and stuff.
I don't know. I just wear it really often. Like if I want to go like Pilates, I just like having like, oh, I recorded that down, like that type of situation.
Are you not like scared that like Apple is holding your information like that?
No, I never thought you can have my information. There's nothing to tell. It just goes, I did 45 minutes of Pilates. That's all.
You think it goes back to like Apple HQ and there's somebody going, oh my god, only 45 minutes today? You did an hour last week. Like,
I don't know, it gives me a sense. I use like the exercise button, and it just gives me a sense of like achievement. Like when I finish, do you know the rings on like Apple Watch? Yeah, it gives me a sense of achievement if I finish it, even though I don't at all. Like I do it once in like I don't know, whatever.
do you think that's like one of the things that's like, that's actually changed your life? The way that you're like, oh, okay, I'll do more exercise because I want to get like my Apple Watch like complete, or like to see that stats.
I think, yeah, sometimes like it also trackers your steps. Like when I'm working, even though like I'm standing up for like 8 hours, and it gives me like, oh, if you stand up for this long, it tells you. And I think it's pretty cool.
So is it like, so you have been motivated to go like, oh, I got like 9,000. Let me get up to my 10,000
Oh, no.
steps. Okay.
No.
So you,
Why would I let a device manipulate me?
no, because
like
I
that?
honestly have friends that like they got a Fitbit and they were like, this is my life now. It gives me like a special, like a ding if I get 10K steps. I'm leaving now to go walk.
Oh my god.
That was like the motivator for this topic, like for this episode, where it's like, that's crazy.
But it does make me feel like, even though it does make you feel guilty if I just don't wear it a day, like I do nothing at home, and the circles aren't like filled. It does make me feel a little, but yeah.
But not quite enough to like
Nah,
motivate you.
girl. If being a uni student, you need a day off. I need
No
the day.
way
off.
you're letting a device guilt
It's
trip you.
not. It just gets a sense of achievement when you actually go do something.
I mean, what about you, Godwin? Have you used any of these, like, I don't know, Fitbits, or even just like the tracking apps in your phones?
Well, I actually agree. Like, I like how with the Apple Watch, it breaks it down to tangible goals. You know, like one at a time, compared to, you know, well, it guilt trips you in the positive way, compared to me, where, you know, when I use my weight scale, it immediately, you know, shames me. You know, I look at it, I'm like, yeah, oh man, I wish I had something else, you know, to positively gaslight me. But yeah,
Nice. I didn't
Being
even think of my
manipulated
Apple
by a
Watch.
little square box. That's
think of getting
crazy.
manipulated.
yeah. I mean, hey,
I mean, I think you're a little guilted, but it's not that bad. You're not like, my mental health is ruined today because my Apple Watch went, you're like lazy.
That's true.
No, I like to keep my peace.
You don't want to touch it if it ain't broke.
Yeah, exactly. I like to keep my peace.
I mean, honestly, I respect that. You did bring up something interesting of like, do you guys feel in any way that the tracking information is like creepy or privacy invasive or like scary? What do you think, Marley?
Honestly, I don't know. It is kind of creepy, but I think it'd be useful for like people who have like serious health issues. That's probably the only way I think it would be cool, because then they'd have like all that information all at once. But like, why do you need to know that stuff? Why do they need to know that stuff? Like, what do you know that I don't?
Yeah, you feel like Apple, like, because that was the thing, your Apple Watch was like able to diagnose like COVID and weird things based on all the,
Yeah.
it was like totally a thing.
I didn't know.
And I don't.
had COVID. It didn't tell me.
Okay, well, maybe you're not using it enough. No. That weirds me out that like you might have a watch on you that's like, you're seriously ill, but I won't tell you quite yet.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I want that power, or
like,
the watch to have that power.
It's like how it sets goals, right? What are you preparing me for? You know? What do you know that's going to happen that I don't know? Sorry, I'm very paranoid.
No, I mean, let's dig down on this. But do you feel like you're gonna get like it's not like, oh, run 10K steps today. It's gonna be like, run away from this bear or something. That, like, it's gonna be training you for like a marathon and you don't know it.
Yeah, like what is going to happen that you know that I don't? You know?
I mean, there needs to be an episode
That
just
goes into a
unpacking that.
whole nother segue.
What about you, Godwin? Are you like a privacy head, or do you feel like, oh, I don't really care, this information's not that valuable to me anyway?
I mean, if it's valuable in assisting my gaslighting, then I guess so. No, but
You're sacrificing your privacy to be manipulated? That's such a weird transaction.
no, I mean, but right now in my standing, I would like to be private about it. So, I mean, because I've never owned these things. Like, I don't know what I'm like signing up for.
I mean, like, your phone's got all that information on it. Have you turned that stuff on in your phone yet? Like, I mean, even like Pokemon Go, if you were like cast your mind back to like 2016, you know?
I mean, yeah, I guess it's a double standard. Just the fact that, hey, I mean, cool, this is a new exact thing that's the same as my phone, but I didn't trust it, but I have this. So, I mean, I guess that's how gaslighting helps for me.
So, I mean, that is an interesting thing of like all these discussions. We do all have phones on us. We're all not cavemen. Do we feel like, why do we have a phone and not like an Apple Watch? Do we feel like some social motivation is, in Godson's case, making him ignore the double standards?
Mhm.
Like, do you guys feel like you could totally live without a phone if you wanted to?
I can live without
Maybe.
the Apple Watch, honestly, because the Apple Watch you can't text well. You can text well on like a phone, but like Apple Watch.
Maybe not in this day and age where everything is pretty much on our phones. Like, say if you're going out, like my card is on my phone, you know.
Oh, that's true. You can do Apple. You can do Apple Pay on your watch
Yes,
too.
I know that.
But I don't have that. You need a password for
I
that.
work in retail. I know that. But like everything is on our phones, so I don't know about this day and age.
It's not like, yeah, so like the social adoption, like that factor is just like, it's
Yeah.
just everything.
It's just
yeah.
there now.
I mean, yeah, I don't have a physical card. I don't even have like a physical bank in the state for the bank I'm in.
Oh,
So, like,
really?
if I
Wait,
lose
no,
my
my parents
phone-
are the same.
Yeah, like if I lose my phone and I can't access my bank and stuff, I'll wait till I go back to Adelaide. Like, I'll just have no money. I do love, Alyssa, that you're like, yeah, I could take or leave my Apple Watch, and then immediately like, you know, it has Apple Pay features as well. The little
I don't use
Android
the Apple
there.
Pay feature, but it's because like I wore it for so long. Like I had this, like
Do you have a
almost-
tan line?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
It's
yeah.
like I feel empty without it. Like the one time that I forgot to charge it because I was so tired last night, but I just didn't charge it, and it just feels empty like the whole day because you know those like normal where you look in your hand to see the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my normal watch.
That's like it's just something there. I don't know.
That's me with my jewelry. If I don't have my jewelry on, I feel weird.
Yeah, empty. Yeah.
So it's like part of your identity now, at least a little
How do
bit.
identity is weird to say.
There's this thing I did I saw while researching for this, which was like people on their like wedding day in like the most expensive, gorgeous gown ever with their Apple Watch on.
Oh, really?
And I don't know, that made me feel weird.
I wouldn't take it that far.
So like it's part of like you miss it, but you're not like
Imagine you get a notification. It's like, you took 10,000 steps today during like the middle of the ceremony.
someone leans forward to kiss you and you're like, oh my god, guys.
Oh my god, my friend just texted me.
You know what it does tell you? When it gets really loud, it gives you a notification and says like you have a chance of being, I don't know, death or something. Like it's reached this amount of decimals or something like that.
Oh, decibels. Yeah,
Decibels,
yeah.
that word.
And if you fall, it also like alerts. Like you've suffered a fall. Do you want to call emergency services? Which I think would be good in cases of like elderly people who probably live alone. I think that'd be beneficial for them. But other than that, it's like, I don't know. I don't see a use for it.
But so there is
There are benefits.
there is a benefit. There is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
use case somewhere. What question was I asking you all? I don't remember.
I think
Because I didn't ask Godwin, and now I want to circle back. What was the question?
I'm not sure, but I'll help you in that. I think it also helps me like when I wear a specific color. You know how you can change the faces of the Apple Watch? When I'm wearing like pink, I can change the color.
Oh my God.
That's what I do, guys. Okay. When I'm wearing like my blue, my work uniform, I have to change it. It's just something I do because it looks cute. It suits it.
I think you're not accepting how much of a like effect this has had in your life.
I think it's affected you more than you think.
No. Hey,
Influenced
if
you.
I buy something, I'm sure if I buy something, I have to use it fully, like, because else, it won't
What's the
be
point?
worth it.
But you didn't buy it. It was a gift.
But still, it's a gift.
Would you-
People pay money for that.
Would you buy it now if like it broke? Would you get a new one?
Sorry, I can't buy that.
But if it broke and you were had a windfall, would you like go? I need an Apple Watch. Let me get a new one.
I can't buy that. I have other things to buy, like food.
I have to pay rent.
So it's important, but not a necessity. It's
I won't buy it. It will feel empty. I feel sad, but like you would have to save up, and that takes too long. And
Alright.
I have other things I want to buy. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I won't. Hopefully, I won't be put in that position.
It's not up there with like food and water and shelter in terms of like core needs.
Work almost like 70 hours a week to just pay for that.
What, are you going to get it on like credit? You're going to get like a loan?
You have a credit card?
No, like
I don't know
like
if a credit card.
Afterpay or something like that. I mean, honestly, I know people that have like Afterpay every single thing in their life, so I wouldn't be shocked.
Imagine getting bankrupt over Apple Watch. That'd be shameful.
Imagine going to debt for like a fucking Domino's pizza.
Finance your pizza.
Yo, my bank account reached the negatives today.
Oh.
Anyways, moving on.
And we're out here going, yeah, so would you get an Apple Watch or like one of the like some AirPods? Yeah.
I couldn't pay my phone bill.
Oh, that's
I
why
hope my parents don't hear this.
that's what I was going to talk about. Like going back to that like wedding example, have you ever been like out with someone, or like maybe it's yourself if you're illicit, where you like you'll be talking and then they'll get a notification and just immediately like the attention leaves?
Do I? Really? Really?
Alyssa. Oops. I'll be talking and then she'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay then.
No, the thing is that if I go, example, clubbing, I don't have my phone with me. But if like my mom's calling because she lives overseas and she gets really worried, so like it kind of they call you through your Apple Watch, when it rings. So I think it's really good.
I mean, that actually is an interesting use case
Yeah.
where it's like it allows you to be social in new environments. Something like you wouldn't want your phone out, you might lose it, you might drop it, you might get broken. Okay, as Alyssa's friend, how do you feel about their use of their Apple Watch? Do you feel
don't know,
like
'cause when I
have you
hang
gotten
out-
annoyed at them?
When I hang out with someone, I like one-on-one time, and I expect your attention to be on me, and I'll do vice versa
D&D.
in person.
Okay, I'm starting to think one of us doesn't think the internet's
I'm
real, and one
a
is like,
big
this is the
quality
real world.
time person. I like the real world.
So you would be annoyed at the people that are like,
Yeah, because like
Always
if
an
I
Apple Watch.
was eating with someone, phone face down.
But that's true. I do put my phone down.
and then
But you
Apple
have
Watch
your
up.
Apple Watches
Hey,
up.
if my sister calls me, I need to pick up. What if my mom calls me and I need to pick up? If something's an emergency, it makes sense. You just don't get it because you put your phone on D&D.
Yeah, and I like to spend time with people in real life.
You are by yourself at home and you put on D&D. What
Yeah.
about T? Sorry, this is like a whole. I got real upset with
We're
her.
relapsing.
Yeah, sorry.
Pause.
Let's go back.
I mean, I did like. It is my fault. I did push it. No, I mean, I think that is interesting though. Like, how much we actually use calls and texts. Because like, if I'm probably worse than Melly. My phone never has notifications on it. Like, it never makes a noise or a buzz. If somebody's dying
so
or it's an
nice.
emergency, I'll see it when I see it. Like,
That's horrible.
I'm just like, it's not real.
Plus, it's like, in my head, it's like, who would want to call me in an emergency? It's like, what's my role in an emergency? You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I
Because
get
like
that.
my parents live 3 hours away. They're not gonna call me if there's gonna be an emergency. They're gonna call me after. You know, and like.
Who you gonna
You
call?
won't call. Who am I going to call
Who
in an
you
emergency?
call? Mhm.
No one. Emergency services. That's who I'm calling.
I thought you said it was me.
No, that's why Alyssa needs a phone and a watch so they can call the like
No.
001 and you on the other.
Wait. You told me I was the
Yeah,
emergency.
you're my emergency contact
Exactly.
at work.
Wow.
So like if you do get an emergency and all,
I'm
like
calling
you,
Uber.
Yeah, but
Actually,
after
no, I'm not
that-
calling emergency service. I'm calling an Uber because I'm not paying for an ambulance. I'm not paying for an ambulance.
I mean, you know what? That's a social factor. Like, circling back to being poor, like all of us are. I don't know. Goldwyn, what do you think? Have you ever been out with someone that's like always on their Apple Watch? Or like even all the way back in like the early 2000s, there was like a stereotype of like businessmen that had like the Bluetooth headphones and were always on a call.
Oh no,
You know, like, have you experienced that?
it's my grandpa.
Oh, really?
I mean, obviously you have to spend good time with your grandpa. I did not have any because most of the time, there's the social factor that gets taken away because it's like I'm holding his hand. It's like I look up and like, and he's like, yeah. So
Was it like Alyssa? It was like social, or was it like business? You know what I mean?
2 and 2 together, I guess. Like it takes away. It's really kind of intuitive. It takes away like the moment of things.
Yeah. So you feel like it allows you to be social in different ways, but you might be missing something
you could
out
be
like
socially
in the real
withdrawn
world.
from it. Like
Yeah.
say you wear noise cancelling headphones to dodge cultists, and you wear Apple Watch ping notification. Like let's pause the convo and let me look at it. Like I don't like that.
I don't like that.
I
See?
like
It's
it.
good for
No.
what? Okay, as it's good, but let me just point out, as like I'm really busy, especially during like networking night when everything was so busy. Everyone had to submit stuff with me. I had to be active on the phone. Have like in class, I don't like looking at my phone much, which I do, but I shouldn't. But that's why like I have my Apple Watch with me to like see if like someone sends me a message. That means okay, they're done with their post. I need to post it now. It's really hard, but you know.
Yeah, but when we're having dinner together,
Do you want me to post something? I get really busy. Honestly, that week was so bad.
Yeah, like everybody take a minute to thank Alyssa for the constant. I wouldn't want to do your job.
No.
And I won't ever. That was my question for Godwin that I forgot about. How do you feel about the I've just forgotten again. Oh my god.
I think you
I
need,
have
I think you
had
need
a
an Apple
long
Watch
day.
to like remind yourself.
Yeah, it does remind you stuff.
I have ADHD and my eyes. You might have noticed that. I could not do that. I think the reminders would just derail me all of the time. What was my question? It was
Something by his grandfather?
no. Yeah, like tell me about your childhood. No.
we'll be here for 3 hours.
It's too personal, guys.
It'll come back to me. It's fine. I will cut this out of the podcast. All right. I think we've talked. I can't believe we did half an hour on an Apple Watch. I am genuinely shocked. Yeah, I know.
Half an hour?
It's only been half an hour.
Yikes.
I feel like I've been here for like 2 hours already.
All right.
No,
I guess my hosting's pretty dry.
I'm joking.
All right. The one thing I want to talk about as well is like Apple Watch is big. Everybody's kind of got one. The next kind of big wearable thing, apparently for the rest of our goddamn lives, is like VR headsets, AR headsets, all of that kind of stuff. How I know. I feel like Alyssa, as the proponent of wearable tech, last time is not going to be here. What are your thoughts, Alyssa?
VR, I feel like I've tried it, but I'm not very good at like games and all. If that's what you're saying. Yeah, I think it's cool, but I've never tried. I think I tried it once a long time ago, but I didn't like it.
So you don't like that there's like, if it was more social, if it was more like notifications and friends and calls, is there a world in which you'd use it?
You mean like the new Apple VR one?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I could. It would be weird.
You're not going to be one of those
Imagine
people
you're
on the train with like a VR headset.
No,
and
that'll
you're
be
like-
weird. Honestly, maybe it's not like set inside the world that like it's new, but it's not set in that it's common. But
Yeah.
I think it's a little odd.
What about you, Marilyn?
Imagine you're like at dinner and then someone's wearing that like Apple VR headset, right? And you can't even like look them in the eye.
Yeah, but you can look
While
at like a
you're
little
talking.
picture of
Absolutely
their
not.
eyes that's
Eye
like glued
contact-
on the front.
Eye contact is so important in conversations and just in general.
So
So it's like you're kind of like losing intimacy and like connection with other people, and it's scary. Like you're just looking at them and like imagine like first date, right? And they're wearing the VR headset.
I'm running away.
I'm out. And then the
This
bill,
guy's a red
and then when
flag.
you're going to pay, right? They're like, "Oh, I've got this, babe," and they just stare at the. They just stare at it, and it's like, "It's all paid," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm leaving. I'm never seeing that person again.
Again, so many interesting thoughts that come. And I mean, that is interesting. Of like, people want these, or like Google Glass, where it's like even more, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Easy to use, and it's like smaller, and it's just a pair of glasses. People are like, oh my god, if it gets there, it'll be great. You still wouldn't like it because you're like, it's better than probably somebody looking at their phone or looking at their Apple Watch, but it's still like you can see they're not paying attention to you.
Yeah, like why aren't you paying attention to me?
I could be wearing it, and you could be talking to me, and I'll be playing like I don't know,
like Subway
Subway
Surfers.
Oh, it's like if you're on a Zoom call with someone and you know they're not actually looking at the Zoom call, they're doing something else.
Yeah, that to me is so offensive.
Yeah, that's
so
rude.
offensive.
If I
That's
wasn't,
so
yeah, that's a red
rude.
flag.
It's like we're having time together and you'd rather be focusing, like, it doesn't matter who it's with. Like, even if it was my mother, I'd find that offensive.
All right.
That's so offensive. It's
No.
like we're spending time together and then, like, lives are probably busy. And, sorry, quality time is, like, very important to me. to
Is
have
it one of
quality
your
time.
5 love language?
Yeah. Anyways, moving on.
What about you, Godwin? Are you like a big metaverse Zuckerberg stan, or are you with everybody else?
No, I got I have motion sickness, so
Oh,
I
okay.
can't wear it. I can't. So
So you have tried it before?
I have, but I vomited afterwards.
How,
Really?
how long did it take? Like immediate, or was it?
5 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
It's like I don't like it because
Yeah.
I was like raised around Asian households.
Mm.
Like my mom used to be like, why are you watching the TV for like 5 hours so long? Don't. And if I do tell them like, hey, I'm using this device, which is like a TV literally on my eyes, I don't think they would like it.
All right. So
And
there's like two social factors there
Yeah.
of like
it's a stigma.
personal, like, well, also your personal like sickness. There's some people like fully cannot just use it, like never can. It's just like a brain thing. But there's also that stigma. So is that stigma like stopping you from getting it? Or like maybe let's open this up because you also do have that like an actual physical health problem. If there was less of a stigma around like using it and like people judging you, would you like think about it a bit more? Or is it purely just like the use case isn't there for you?
I get motion sickness too.
I
I
just
do
don't
not.
think it's necessary.
All right, so we're the ones putting the stigma out on everybody else.
Sorry, guys.
Actually, I'm not sorry. Why are you paying that much money to isolate yourself? Like, let's be real.
So you do think it's like isolating?
I think it's isolating. It's like why would you do that? I just talk to people. For God's sake.
Introverts. They prefer.
See, that's why things like this exist now. Like people are scared to go out. People are scared to ask people to hang out with each other. We're creating our own loneliness in a sense, if you think about it.
What's stopping us from hanging out now?
Time.
Yeah, we uni students. Bet true.
It cheaps it out quite a bit. I mean, how do you say this? I need someone that went on a date VR.
Oh my
See,
god!
I know a girl like that too.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait,
like,
really?
yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of cheaps out intimacy, but at the same time, it kind of like makes it's good in a way.
How
But
does it work?
it's really depressing.
How does that work?
It's so weird because it's like you're using technology to find. It's like in a way you're using technology to find love, and it's just
I mean, weren't you talking about Hinge before we started the
exactly
podcast?
exactly with things like Hinge, things like this. It kind of like cheapens love, intimacy, and that's why. Where are the real lovers of the world? Where are the people who would write love letters to each other? Who would wait outside the door? Who would like ask for your hand? You know.
I'm still searching.
I have like the worst case. This is like a worst example. So my friend, she matches with this guy on Hinge, and obviously, let's play a game together. And as like a date, he straight up follows it, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm down." And he's like, "There's Minecraft sex mod installed." It's like,
Okay, look, I feel like that's not the technology's fault. I feel like someone has made some
Technology's fault.
choices there and there's some agency there.
I think it's like
Can we get him on the podcast?
it's such a contradiction that we're paying this much money on technology and like to isolate ourselves when in reality it is technically reality when like scientists and things like that it's such a whole I'm going to like my whole philosophy and how humans are essentially scared of loneliness because we're spending so much money towards research and scientists to look for like other species in space because we're just so scared we're the only beings in the universe.
what?
So
If you think about
you
that.
think loneliness is like a core part of being human?
Yeah, I
is
think
true.
so.
I
Like
think
that's
yeah.
I think
Technology doesn't make us lonely, guys. We're all
We're
lonely already.
only-
Yeah, I think it's like the effects of COVID.
it's not
lockdown,
just
no?
effects of COVID because it's like like how long have we been looking for life outside in the universe?
Oh no, I don't want to know.
For so long because we're essentially scared that this is what I think about at
I
night.
don't want
guys.
to know if there's something
Bro,
out there.
That's like Alyssa. How long are we looking for to share tea with Marilee out of D&D?
No, but like this is what I think about at night. This is why I'm on D&D because I think too much.
This is our existential threats. Not getting a text being like returned in time, being left on red, or
Being lonely.
the loneliness at the core of human experience and our place in the universe.
No, but it's so true. It's like we're spending so much money. We're doing all this thing to like, I can't even word it now. But what, like, essentially, essentially like this VR technology, we're finding we're by ourselves in the whole VR thing, like how you said that whole VR date. We're by ourselves, but we're still looking for other people.
So-
you know, trying to find
know what
ways
you mean,
to connect.
yeah.
Yeah, and this wrapped round to making sense, and I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
Well, but like, I think that kind of contradicts what you said a little bit earlier. Of you're like, it is like isolating, but you're talking about people going like,
Humanity is a big oxymoron.
all right, well, I'll put that on the
it's so deep.
I'll put that on the MACS quote book. No, but like, do you feel like there is maybe a little bit of a use case, like Godwin's saying, for like people interacting at least a little bit when they couldn't before? Like, I know people that are like use like VR and like VR chat and things
Just
like
go
that to talk.
outside. Oh my god.
But like,
Yeah, go
Please.
touch grass.
yeah, but what if you like live in a different
VR.
country? You know, like, what's the difference between Alyssa calling someone and going like, let's talk about
Ooh.
tea, and like you going to VR chat and talking and gossiping with someone there?
It's just different. Like having an in-person conversation and having a conversation online, it's just so different because how I text online isn't necessarily how I speak in real life. And I can't really communicate things the same way. Also, I'm a very animated person, as you can tell.
Maybe you need VR. You need to be able to like put your hand gestures in.
And no, I don't like that. It's not the same.
All right, well, what about you, Alyssa? Because you're much more like in on the digital communication.
What about it?
Do you feel that like maybe meeting like VR and talking to someone like through that is
It's
the same
not
as a
weird.
phone call? All right, so you still think it's weird?
It's like FaceTime. Are you talking like FaceTime?
Well, like there are like apps where you're like VR chat, so you're like you are an avatar, so it'll be like some like Luigi Mario ripoff or like someone's persona, but you're talking and you're like your body's represented. Do you like? But you still think talking in like VR or in video games is still different to like a phone call?
It is, honestly, yeah, it's different. I prefer meeting someone face to face. I agree. Because when it like, you go on a phone call, it'll be like what, like 5 minutes or something. But like or like you can just talk about something. But then if you meet in person, you can do like an activity together. Go eat dinner. Go, I don't know, go paintball or something.
And like you're able to witness people's like habits in real life as well that you might be able to see.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're a little like scared people might not be like the true self. What you're talking about, yeah.
Because like
True.
who you are online is not necessarily who you are in real life.
What about you, Godwin? Do you feel like we're being too hard on all this like tech when it's basically just like a phone call but fancier?
No, I mean it makes sense. I mean it's like it's so manipulatable. Just like having your digital avatar and you know your personal full-on flesh, you know, persona. Like I could imagine, like maybe like after having a good VR date, just like just having a goodbye, just bye, and then, like having that VR kiss. The moment you take off your goggles, just sitting
Tastes
on
like
empty,
batteries or something.
sitting on the empty room,
Tastes
just
like
like
code.
it's not real.
Oh, so you feel like that transition is like where it gets weird, where you're like,
Yeah, I'm like this is not
it's
me.
too much of a
It's not
separate
me.
kind of thing. Yeah.
It's not real. If you go on a date, like on VR, you guys like, oh, I went out for sunset together. That was our date. No, it is not. You did not see the sunset
Seeing the sunset in real life and seeing the sunset
through
virtually
VR.
is so different. I like to see
Different.
I like to watch the
Guys,
sunset at least once a week.
None
as
of
well.
us need to go see the aurora. We all just needed to
Don't
scroll
say
through
that
Twitter
to me.
and
Don't say that to me.
I mean, I didn't see either. And I was literally in like Geelong. I was like in the middle of nowhere. It would have been great because it would have been like so dark. And I just didn't look up.
Don't say that to me. I was so.
What were you doing on your phone?
Ooh.
Were you being disconnected?
No, I was on the
From-
I was with my partner for like
Okay.
celebrating Mother's Day with their like technically my mother-in-law. So like
Oh.
that is a problem. Yeah. Let's talk about isolation there.
That's nice.
So like I guess we didn't get a lot of your thoughts, Godwin, on like that VR. Is there any world in which you're like, yeah, cool, I'd wear that. Like I'd use that.
I mean, Ready Player One. I would kill for something like that. No, I value intimate connections and like in-person stuff. So
But do you think it has? You're the most empathetic of the group.
Really?
Yeah.
Am I not empathetic?
No, like,
Excuse
no,
me.
So what's the Apple Watch? Yeah.
to VR. Like everyone else is like garbage. You were at least coming up with some use cases. Do you feel like there is like a place for it? Maybe not like to replace an actual date, but it can be a thing in of itself.
no, no way.
I think like technology is only useful for like advancements in like medicine to actually like benefit people.
Well-
But if it's just for shits and gigs, I guess I don't know.
So Apple Watches need to be able to diagnose you with COVID to be of any use.
No, like the falling feature. Like
I know, I totally get that. I mean, there was a thing, this is me referring to my notes to show I actually do research, that there was like, in the UK, they have like, the NHS, National Health Service, is like, loneliness is like an epidemic. Like it's actually,
Yeah, I saw
they've
that.
got a whole like plans against it. And one of the things that was trying to get wearable technology for old people. So they can, some of it is like your Apple Watch, so you can just like monitor things. But one of them was like specifically for loneliness, where it was like, sometimes it might be an Apple Watch, but somebody made like a custom brooch that like looks like an old timey war kind of thing that just listens to audio. And if there isn't like conversation for like a couple days, will tell your family that you're lonely.
Oh my god!
no.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would support that. You would never know what people
People go
yeah,
through.
people are going through. Like, oh, that's so sad.
So do we feel like that's a good use of that wearable tech?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when like elderly people, they're by themselves.
true.
Like you don't know your family might be really busy, but you know they might forget something. Like they forget you. So like you don't want to tell them because you don't want to bother them.
You don't want to be a burden.
No, that's the word. Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting because there's one of the things that I guess is like so barely wearable tech, but I keep getting ads from it that's like drop shipped. It's like those bracelets for like long distance relationships where
Oh,
you
yeah, I
tap them
saw
and they
that.
buzz. Yeah.
Why would you get in a long distance relationship anyway?
All right.
I saw that, but I think it's I don't know.
It doesn't
how I feel
replace.
about
It doesn't.
text or something or call FaceTime.
Yeah, I think it's meant to like supplement it rather than like replace it. You're not there tapping Morse code.
Actually, wait, that look be fire. Like you can
We
decode
just-
it
we-
together. Oh
we
wait,
ju-
hold on.
The idea is us sitting there with like a
Wait a minute.
we had to go so weird to get Marilee on board. I finally remembered my question.
Josh.
I finally remember my question for Godwin, which I'm going to edit in maybe earlier into the episode if I can be arsed. So, what do you feel about that expectation of like total connection? Like you can never swap off. Do you like hate that as well?
No, I just don't like the state of it right now. It feels too messy or clunky, you know. If it was something like full replacement, maybe in the future, like ever watch the Black Mirror episode San Junipero?
I have,
What-
but like years ago.
Yeah, but like so it's like in a nutshell, they transfer their consciousness in like a VR world for old people, especially when they're dying and like frail and ill. You know, like they transfer their old young self into this big server of like all other people, and I mean I see it as like a good way of in that kind of context, but at the same time, it's like if you're immortal in like a digital world, it's
No.
The
depressing.
Matrix.
It's okay. I like to die naturally.
Yeah.
No.
All right, that's what we've. After a long conversation, we're like, "Hi guys, I would like to die." Thank you.
Actually, yeah.
I mean, we're gonna have to wrap it up soon. Just because it's been nearly 50 minutes. I have a question. Going back to like what you're all saying about like the health thing of it being that's a good use of it. If we were all old people, and we
I don't
were,
want to be old.
Yeah, okay. Imagine climate change doesn't exist and we're all gonna actually survive to like 80. Would you guys use that? Do you think if you were lonely, you'd be driven to adopt some of this technology if you felt like it could be more connected? Or would Marilee be like 90 and go like, I'm not getting an Apple Watch, don't make me?
I'm gonna be like those cranky boomers. That's gonna be me.
What about you, Godwin? Do you feel like if you were like lonely or something like that, would you like adopt a new technology? I mean, I guess we all have if we've got social medias and things like that, especially joining uni and moving away. Do you feel like specifically if you were an old person, you go like, this wearable tech, I think it's great. I would change my mind now.
Oh, that's a hard question.
Like, wearable tech in terms of like, what do you mean? Like Apple Watches? Or are you talking
Like-
about VR headsets?
In terms of like maybe the Apple Watch or maybe even the VR headset, if you're like, oh, I have like less mobility issues now, I'm totally down on a VR date. It's just so I can meet my friends. Like, no, like fully. Do you know, like, because that's probably going to be the world we're going to be in. We're all going to be in a retirement home and there'll be one dude that
No.
never takes his off.
I'm gonna be like to my grandkids, you visit me or we're not talking at all.
I respect the hell out of that. What do you think, Godwin? Do you think maybe when you're older, all these social things will change and maybe everybody will be using it?
Maybe for the next, maybe Gen Alpha. Who knows? I have no hopes of him, but maybe it will. Maybe they'll embrace it. But for our generation, I'll try not to. Like I will I will die on this hill, not embracing it. I will not.
I
would
agree.
not.
Literally die. I guess.
No.
Old, bitter.
The only thing I
not
would
seeing their
want.
kids, and you're like, I'm not getting a headset. I don't care if you want me to play
No.
Roblox with you, and that's really connect. I'm not doing it.
Oh my gosh. You're like one of those grandfather who wouldn't want to use like a phone.
The only thing I would want is that electric chair that goes up the stairs.
Oh no.
That's what I want.
That's why I'm working, so I can have a house with stairs, and I can put one in.
That's what I want. That's all I want.
I don't want to be that skeptical. I mean, my granddad was like, "Do not use a microwave, you'll get cancer." So
What?
my granddad banned me from using a microwave at his house.
Is this the same dude that put a Bluetooth headset like constantly
Yeah,
on?
yeah. It was like, it's gonna give you cancer. I go, when? Don't use it. I'm like, what? I won't be that
Sorry, let me
belligerent.
take this business call. Maybe
No.
turning the microwave on like screwed up his reception or something.
Maybe, but nah. Not that belligerent, no.
I know. I may be looking forward to like Marley to be a grouchy old like man and go like kids these days.
That's my lawn.
what about you, Alyssa? To like round us out, is there a world you think maybe like when you're older, if society maybe changes some of the stigmas, that you'd use like Apple Watches and VR and all these things? Yeah.
I think honestly, I'll be open to try. Like, there's no harm trying new things. There's no harm trying. Like, you never know.
Not as an old person.
You never know if it's good or if it's like interesting till you actually try it. Like, I don't know. If you want to connect with your like grandkids and this is what they do, you like no harm trying on it.
I'm gonna teach my grandkids to read books
Oh,
because I don't think they'll be able to by then.
Do you think there'll be enough trees to make paper to read books?
Oh.
I mean, I got an e-reader. Like that's my division of like actually adopting technology, but not really.
I like actual physical books.
Yeah, I like
E-books
my,
don't have the smell.
I
All
like
right, rub it in a book or something.
No.
Like go to the library.
No, e-books don't have the smell.
I like ebooks, girl. I can't.
and you can
it's
see your
small.
progress better for me personally.
Oh, all right, we'll do
Personally.
another episode on e-readers. Like
Oh, can we? I would actually so join.
What? Bookmarks?
honestly,
What?
we could do e-readers and like book talk as like
Like
one
real
to
Oh my
Yes.
god, yes, I will so join. You
talk?
better do it the time I'm available.
Actually,
yes,
book talk
I'm on it.
And AO3.
What's AO3?
AO3.
What's AO3?
All right.
Do you know AO3?
we did the fandom episode and
Oh.
like we didn't bring it up. We touched on it, going like there are levels of fan fiction.
Bro,
I feel like
Do book talk.
I have
I
25
so wanna do
AO3.
that.
I have 25 AO3 tabs open.
All right, well, let's get Marley to a therapist.
Please. Can I put up my PayPal so you can fund my therapy?
No, I only accept Apple Pay. Do you have a watch?
No, I don't have a watch. Analog only, sorry.
All right, guys. Thank you all for listening to this week's episode of Max Chats. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you to Marley, Godwin, and Alyssa. Bye, guys. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to that week's episode. As always, follow us on our socials. Remember that we have a Google form in the podcast description if you'd like to submit some ideas, join. We have a whole Facebook group talking about member contributions, getting people on. We've had some great guests. We'd love you guys to join.